Grandma and Grandpa Dodson's.
Uh-huh.
They,
At the farm?
they were, well, we rented the land across the road from where they lived.
Mm-hmm.
And so we rented that, and the next year we farmed onions.
I was getting ready to say, that's when you started the onion farm, right?
Now, my grandfather had already.
He'd already started it?
Established an onion farm.
Uh-huh.
So he was. Somebody just went by. It wasn't Darlene, though.
No, not yet.
I wouldn't think so. Although she was pretty close to here,
Yeah.
but she don't drive very fast either.
No.
And she wasn't going to go anywhere today, but it's a special occasion now. And I got a sore spot in my mouth,
Uh-oh.
and it was sore for a while, and then it quit.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's getting sore again,
Yeah.
and probably I got a problem with it. But anyway, I remember we were going through Columbus.
Uh-huh.
My dad, so when he turned here, Mom said, yeah. He said, up here we turn to the left. Mom said, no. And Pop said, yes it is. And went up there and turned to the left. Should have been to the right.
So Grandma was right all along, wasn't
Oh,
she?
yeah. Yeah. And we stopped, my Uncle Elmer had built a Delco light plant, which was unheard of at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He took that Delco light plant and hooked it up to the house, and we had electricity in the house. So the only person within several miles that
Right.
had electricity.
With electricity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was there in Ada?
Huh?
That was there in Ada?
No, that was in Columbus.
Oh, that was in Columbus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we stopped. They had. I wish I could say, take it to that farm, but I can't. I don't know where it is.
Right.
We stayed in that farm that night.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't. We stayed across the street at the Yant place, which is the place we ended up renting.
Right.
And we rented that place and raised onions on it next year.
And that
That's
was
what
the
it
one across from your grandma and grandpa's, right?
Oh yeah.
Your grandma and grandpa were on one side of the
Well,
road?
like my grandpa and grandma, they lived right beside the South River.
Yeah, because they had that marshy area where
Uh-huh.
that was good for the onions.
Uh-huh. And so we hoed onions, but we did a lot of onion work that year.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather, we had 60 acres of onions.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of onions.
Uh-huh. And we raised the onions and cut the tops off of them
Mm-hmm.
and sold the onions somewhere,
Right.
Then next year we raised our own. The guy with a Yant, name of Yant, we rented the farm from him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a 30-acre farm, and I remember, well, I was a little old. I think I was 3 years old then,
Okay.
and I dug down, and water started coming up. And I told my brother older than me, I said, we got to stop that wire, because it'll flood this whole country. And we banged it, banked it up,
Mm-hmm.
and it like that must have filled up that ditch that we had built. But the next year we left it on the farm. We dug it again. That time it just kept going. But the thing was, see, it had rained and rained and rained. And once we got that water going, it drained that ditch over there. It was a ditch
Mm-hmm.
and a farm, pond and so forth. it drained that whole thing. And it ran for all day long, and we couldn't stop it.
Right.
Finally, next morning all the water was gone. Because it drained the water, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, just a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you guys used to live down toward McGuffey from
Yep.
Grandpa's place?
Kenton.
We lived outside of Kenton.
Oh, you did. Well, which one was it that, you know, you remember the name Mart Whitaker?
Whitaker?
Martin Whitaker. you
Martin
think?
Whitaker. I don't remember that.
Well,
name.
anyway, this South River went right by this land when we dug it up.
Uh-huh.
I mean, farmed it.
Right.
And on the other end of it, we dug water holes. And that's where we controlled the amount of water we had.
Right.
And there was a river, I mean a pond. And we dug a big pond. And we put the thing, the edge of that Souda River right in that pond. And all next year, we're the only ones that had the water.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else had dry land in it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So use that water to help water the onions?
Yeah, we watered the onions. We dug little trenches, and the water would flow.
Irrigated that way?
Irrigated, yeah,
Mhm.
irrigated, yeah. Well, she's more up on than I am.
So, were you the only brother who had to work the onion farms, or did Ernie have to help you?
Ernie did too, yeah.
You and Ernie work
He'd
the
get a whipping
onion
if he
farms?
didn't.
He'd get a whipping?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's-
Who got more whippings, you or Ernie?
Well, Ernie said I was the mama's boy, and so he got more whippings than I did. But the next year,
Was that true? Were you a mama's boy?
no, you know what? Me and Mama could communicate, and I could talk her out of a lot. So,
So yes, you were a mama's boy then.
yeah. And this land, where we are right now,
Uh-huh.
was an onion farm.
Uh-huh.
Onion patch, they call it.
Yeah, but it was bigger than a patch, wasn't it?
Well, it
30
seemed like it
acres.
forever.
30 acres is not a patch. 30 acres is a big old farm.
Well, yeah, but this is part of that 30 acres.
Uh-huh.
And we'd go up to, then next year we had rented a land which was 27 acres, I think,
Uh-huh.
and we dug around and well, we raised onions on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the guy's name that we sold the onions to, but he was a pretty good guy.
Was he?
Mhm.
Cool.
Well, it's one of those things that you don't think about it until it happens.
So that was you and Ernie were on that one. Was May born then? Or Midge? I'm trying to remember.
I
who-
forget now.
I forget if Midge or May was older.
Oh, Midge was older than May.
Midge was older than May?
Uh-huh.
Midge was the oldest of your full sisters?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Huh. Trying to relive, and people don't care, I guess. I don't know. But I know we drove around Columbus, Ohio, until we found the right road. And
Until your dad finally listened to your mom and followed her directions.
I don't know. I think we finally listened to him.
Okay.
Because we got on to the north side of
Of Columbus.
Of Columbus, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it was pretty much level farmland. We knew where we were,
Yep.
pretty much.
And you probably would have never guessed that you were going to go back down to Columbus to go to school after a few years, did you?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't actually. We actually, Ohio. What was it like? DeGraff had a school. Roundhead had a school. Lewistown, right down this road here, dead-ended in a crossroads.
Uh-huh.
But that crossroads only went north and south and west.
Right.
And we had the other side is where we farmed it, and we leveled it off, and we grew onions on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Because back then you grew onions wherever you could grow onions.
People needed a lot of onions, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, it's called the onion state, I guess. It used to be.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that.
I don't know for sure, but
Did
You,
you ever,
guys called it the
did you
onion
ever
state.
hear it called the Black Swamp?
yes, I did.
That's what used to be on Jordan's Boy Scout uniform. They called Ohio as the Black Swamp.
That, especially that area there where your
Well,
farm was and stuff. It was
it
all Black
wasn't-
Swamp area.
It wasn't a well, it was Black Swamp, but it was pretty much, we had to dig irrigate so
Yeah.
it could.
You can
water
control where
off.
the water went to.
Yeah, they would raise onions, and then people when I was that big,
Yeah, you were a little boy then.
we had rows and rows and rows of onions, and I remember when I first started raising, pulling weeds on onions. If I could keep up with 2 rows, I could get paid for 2 rows, and if I could, and my uncle Elmer, he could get paid for 4 rows, so he got paid for 4 rows, but I
Uh-huh.
got paid for 2.
Do you remember how much you get paid for
25 cents a day, I think.
25 cents a day?
Hey, that was big money for a little kid at that time.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of money.
You- that was a lot of money back then.
Well, Darlene, I hope she don't have any problem. 'Cause she's not quite as old as I am, but almost.
She's driving over to see us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look here coming.